What's up, everyone? Today we have the Stihl FS94R on the table, and the problem is it can't start. Except it's not what you're thinking. Well, maybe because you clicked on it, but it's not engaging whatsoever. So I don't remember how exactly this recoil works. There's a couple different types. I don't know if this one has like this little dogs that come out, or if it has the type that has like this little, we'll look at it. But I'm 99% sure it's something to do with that. I don't think the recoil itself is actually busted. I think it's the little piece inside. So let's go ahead and take a look and see if I'm right. So we need to take it off. I think it's a T25. Yes. Most things on Stihl are, until you got used to it and then they switch it up on you. Then they'll do something random. Is there a fourth one? No, there's not a fourth one. Okay. Is there a fourth one? No. Okay, it just stuck. Just gonna dump those out because they'll fall out in the most inopportune time. Yeah. So it's not the one that has little dogs on it. So that means it is what I was thinking, and it is in here. So I just so happened, this happens so often, I keep a stack of them. Now hopefully this is the right one. I think it is. Yeah. They are basically all the same for this size of weed eater. So we're going to take that off and put the new one on. Here we go. So this should be normal. It's the other end that should be opposite. We'll find out here shortly. Now, if you don't have an impact driver, what you're going to want to do is take the plug out. Probably should be disconnecting the spark plug anyway, but you're going to want to take the plug out and shoving in a clean rope. Clean being the very important detail in that whole statement. Moving the piston all the way down, putting said rope in there, and then at that point you can move the piston up and it will kind of be like your piston stop. Unless you have a piston stop, in which case just go ahead and use that. That's completely missing. Oh, here's one. There should be two. Yeah, there's two on the new one. So what you can do is, this one's obviously missing, but you can also kind of tell, like, it's kind of misshapen. I rarely try to fix those because, one, they're a cheap piece of plastic. Two, more likely than not, it's going to break very quickly after. And three, this whole thing was like 14 bucks. And a brand new one lasts a very long time, as long as they're not having starter issues and you end up, like, you know, pulling on it as hard as you can and breaking it every single time. But luckily, it's pretty easy to install. It just screws right on. Like I said, that is a 14 millimeter normal lefty loosey righty tighty. At this moment in time, if you did have the rope in the cylinder, you're going to want to go ahead and remove it now, obviously. Now we'll put that back on, make sure it's nice and straight. It looks as if it is. Let's go ahead and put our 3 screws back on. A lot of these Stihls, you do not want to tighten the first one because they're a plastic part, and the plastic part can sometimes, you know, tweak itself and be bent or something. So you'll get 2 of them on, but then the last one you're not going to be able to get on because it has tweaked itself too much where you're not able to actually screw it in. Now that's all 3 are in. But that's a fairly common occurrence for pretty much anything when it has multiple screws like that. So let's go ahead and, now I also don't know if this runs because, well, I couldn't even pull on it, but I'm assuming it does. This can also be the problem if you get your recoil and then you pull on it and all of a sudden it gets stuck. The little plastic pieces that were broken can also get jammed, and when that happens, usually they're starting to get worn out. It's still a good idea to replace this. So whether or not it's not pulling on it at all or it's getting jammed, replace this part. That part, for people who are needing it, is part number 4140-190-2010, or no, that's it. I think that's the upgrade part number. At least that's the one that I bought. So maybe they've upgraded since then. But usually if they do, it'll say it supersedes by this part number. You know, just look up the new one. Having said that, let's see. It does appear as if it's working. I'm going to put you over there so you don't rattle yourself around, and we'll get this started, hopefully. This whole process takes like 3 minutes if it wasn't on a camera, so that's a very odd choke system. It's not odd, it's just very different in comparison to the other Stihls. Now this style of choke as well, you can't hold down the throttle, I believe. Yeah, no. That disengages the choke. You don't want that. Look at that. Starts right up. Perfect. I will say though, this carburetor, in my opinion, is one of the best Stihls I've ever made. Easy to work on. They're very robust, resilient, and they might get a little dirty, but that's became beyond the point of the video. This now runs. So you now have replaced the little part in there. I believe it's called the recoil starter cup, and at least that's what I call it. I'm assuming that's what it's called. Replace that. Like I said, I would never recommend actually trying to rebuild it. You can potentially buy the parts, I think, but by that point in time, you're saving yourself so little money. There's a little spring in there. It's a giant pain. Like, don't deal with that nonsense. Just buy a whole piece. See how easy that was? And I didn't even use a recoil. I didn't even use a piece of rope to shove in the cylinder. It's not that hard if you just have an impact driver. Boom, done here. Easy to go. So, this is set. Owner can now use it. I'm sure he'll be happy. So, quick little video today, but I think it's very important. So I'll go ahead and see you in the next one. Have a nice day. Definitely subscribe. Put a thumbs up if this helped you out, because it definitely helps me out. And I'll catch you on the next one. And don't forget to follow me at Small Engine 101 on Instagram. Have a good night.